Should you pay off your mortgage early? I'm Nate. I'm the FitfutureMD. I help you fix your finances. Thank you for following along with my financial independence journey. Make sure you shop at Ensorsale.com and pick you up a cool inspirational t-shirt today, because what you wear matters. Pick up something that means something to you today. Use code FitfutureMD for 20% off. So, obviously we got financial freedom as a goal, right? We want to create enough assets that would pay for our lifestyle, right? So that we don't have to work if we don't want to, right? Obviously you start with the goal of lean fire, and then you build up to full fire, which is financial independence and retiring early, or not having to work anymore, right? But in this journey, this question comes up, like, should you pay off your mortgage? Well, financial freedom is your goal. First you got to figure out what's your risk tolerance in your heart, right? Because a lot of people, they're willing to risk it all to get out of the rat race, right? And risking it all is basically what I call the BRRRR method. If you've ever heard of the BRRRR method, that's so you buy a house, you renovate the property, you rent it out to someone or to a family or whatever, and then you refinance the house based on what it's worth with the rental income. And this is what I call a house of cards, right? Because, you take that, it's basically increasing your debt, right? Over and over and over again. But you're also increasing your leverage, right? So you are able to get a hold of assets that would go up. So say they go up 4% a year. If you have more of them, you're obviously gaining more money faster, right? So that's really the purpose of the BRRRR method, right? Is to get rich fast. But you can also get poor fast when somebody doesn't pay you, right? So keep that in mind. So it's really just dependent on your risk tolerance, right? I personally do not have this risk tolerance where I'm willing to hold multiple mortgages, right? So number two is, what is your intention, right? So are you in your forever home, right? Most people, are not able to purchase their forever home when they buy their first home or second home, right? Or maybe you're not in the area that you really want to retire in, or you want to be financially free in. You might want to be financially free living in New York City. And you may be sitting over in, New Jersey or something. I don't know. But so if you're not where you want to be, it doesn't make any sense to pay off your mortgage there if you're just going to sell the house anyway, right? But if you are in that area that you want to be in, so say you are, you got your perfect, penthouse in New York City, and that's where you want to be, it's perfectly okay to start paying that off. But if, like I said, if you got an intention to sell, there makes no real reason to continue to try to pay that off if you're just going to sell it, right? Obviously, you don't want to get it where it goes outside the tax realm of tax savings, right? So, like I said, that's $250,000 for an individual, capital gains on sales of property. And if you're married, that's up to $500,000. So if your house goes up more than $500,000, it's probably time to get rid of it, so you don't have to pay taxes on it. All right, the next thing to consider is, what is your interest rate? So there are a lot of people out there that locked in sub 3% interest rates in 2021. We're personally not one of those. We're at 3.8. I don't know if we would have saved any money by refinancing in 2021 or not, but obviously we didn't refinance in 2021. But if you're sitting at a sub 3% interest rate, you're probably not going to be paying off your mortgage. Like it really makes no sense. If the S&P 500 is paying you 10% a year, why would you throw money at your mortgage when you could make 7% on that money, right? So obviously that doesn't make any sense. But if you're sitting at the 6%, 7%, you're starting to make it where it makes sense to start paying off your mortgage. Obviously, if you have any extra income at all, right? Like right now, most people, because of inflation, are not having any extra income at all, right? We really need some sort of deflationary event to cause prices of things to go down, right? So keep that in mind. Also, this also comes down to a personal choice, right? If you are the type of person that you feel like the boogeyman is going to come get you every night because you owe somebody money, then you're probably going to be paying your mortgage off as fast as possible, right? You may not, if that's being the case, you may not even ever get a mortgage, right? If all you have is fear of somebody coming to get your stuff, you may not ever use debt at all, right? And that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly, so we have actually very much considered this possibility a lot. So the idea being that if you're going to turn a house into a rental, that instead of doing the BRRRR method, which is very risk, like you have to have a lot of risk to do the BRRRR method, right? That you would actually, use all your extra money, pay off your home, and then turn your home into a rental. So say my home would rent for $2,000 a month. So instead of using the BRRRR method, you would pay off the house, and instead of getting $300 or $400 a month, between mortgage and rent, you would get the full rent, right? So the idea being that full rent would actually replace your salary on one property, right? So that's kind of the idea. Obviously, and then when somebody didn't pay you, it really wouldn't matter because you don't owe any money on the property, right? So it basically takes the risk out of real estate investing, right? To pay off the property. And if you're going to keep a property forever, obviously that makes sense. It makes sense to pay the property completely off, and all you have to worry about is the taxes and insurance, right? Another thing to consider is the level of natural disaster where you're at. Like I say, we live in the hurricane belt, so we basically we're sitting in a hurricane right now while I'm filming this, right? So obviously that's something to consider when you're investing, right? Like the bank is can actually be a help when it comes like against insurance companies or something like that. Like it may be beneficial to keep a mortgage on the property so that, when you do have to file insurance because of a hurricane, the insurance will actually pay because the bank is backing you up, right? Because the bank has an interest in the benefit of your home, right? So because they're making money off you, right? But like I say, I lean towards more of paying off the house if you can. Obviously to go from a 30-year to paying it off in 3 to 5 is very difficult. But it completely makes sense to do that, right? Obviously, the BRRRR method I consider to be a house of cards, but it makes people rich every day. Like you say, if you're in the long-term bull market like we were from 2012, to 2000, basically 18, 19, and then you add in COVID money and you went into a crazy bull market, right? So, but some people lost everything, right? So keep that in mind as well. So should you pay off your mortgage? You know, it's really up to you on your situation. If you're in your forever home, 100%. If you're in your forever home, then 100% you should pay off your mortgage. If you are wanting to turn it into a long-term rental, it's probably a good idea. You know, it takes the complete risk out of real estate. You know, almost 90% of the risk is gone if you pay it off. But right now, most people don't even have enough money to live. You know, credit cards are going through the roof. So basically, you do the best you can. But we are going for financial independence and retiring early. And real estate is one of the best ways to start that. And I know a lot of people in the fire industry don't believe in that. They don't believe in rentals. So the best thing to do is to flip every 2 years and take the cash, invest the cash, and you know, that way you can get to financial freedom faster. I'm Nate. I'm the FitfutureMD. I help you with your finances. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, send this video to somebody that needs it, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.